was around 15 years when the breast milk discharge started, and at that point it was Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bakena Heavy. In case you're just joining us for the very first time, thank you so much for stopping by, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified. This channel is a safe haven for every woman. We discuss about career development, PCOS, infertility, pregnancy, dealing with motherhood as well, and everything relating to women. This channel is not only for women. Everyone is welcome to this channel. If you are a man, you are a father, you're a brother, a husband, you want to learn about a pregnancy, you want to learn about motherhood, how to be a present father, and all that, then you're welcome to this channel. So today we'll be talking about my experience with PCOS so far, how it has been for me with PCOS, how I discovered that I had PCOS. First of all, let's know what is PCOS. PCOS is an hormonal condition that affects how the woman's ovaries work. It's mainly an hormonal imbalance condition that presents three major symptoms to the woman's body, which could be the growth of excess hair on the woman's body, mainly in the face and on the chest region, and it could also have irregular menstruation. And lastly, symptom is irregular menstruation and also the presence of so many cysts on the ovaries as well. These are three main symptoms of PCOS. If you have one of the symptoms, doesn't really mean that you are a PCOS woman, but so they need different symptoms to be able to tell you if you're a PCOS woman or not. That is why you need to always consult with your gynecologist for you to be sure if you are PCOS or not. So let's go into this video. My story with PCOS. It has been for me all these years. Definitely not a good one, but I think it's necessary to share. I started my own experience with PCOS from a teenage period. At that moment, it started with the growth of hairs. Nobody really saw that as anything, and then gradually I started secreting breast milk at a very tender age. I was around 15 years when the breast milk discharge started, and at that point it was really an embarrassing situation. So something that I wasn't really allowed or open to talk about, because the few persons that my mom had spoken to, I told my mom that that this doesn't really happen. It's kind of like a taboo for a young girl to be secreting breast milk and whatever. And so, and others have said you need to speak with her, let her tell you her truth. Why is she secreting breast milk? Probably you don't know, we Nigerians, you don't know what she has done. You need to ask her if she did an abortion recently. She needs to open up to you. But I'm just glad for the mother I have, and she spoke to me, and she understood that there was nothing of such, and because I was a pure innocent girl at that age, nothing at all. So went to the hospital and they did some tests, and they said, okay, your prolactin level was high, this is high, and we need to place you on some hormonal pills to bring that down as well. I took those pills, and then after a few months again, the breast milk discharge started again, and we had to go back to the hospital. At this time, I said, okay, since you're still experiencing this, then you need to go for a CT scan. Let's check. Is it the adrenal gland or I don't know, but there's a gland that controls the secretion of breast milk and all that. So they said they needed to check if there was a tumor growing person on it or whatsoever. So they needed to check. So we did that as well, and the test came back that I was okay. There was nothing. So I was okay. That was a relief, kind of. That was the kind of relief for me. So they had to place me on another dose of hormonal pills as well, and we took that. It stopped for I think a year or so. So when I got into the university, this old breast milk discharge started, and at this same period of time I was also experiencing irregular menstruation, where my menstrual cycle was so irregular. It could come this month, and then for 2 months nothing is coming, or it could be 10th of this month. It could be like a 40 days cycle length, 45 days cycle length. So I can't tell you if I'm ovulating or not. When I'm ovulating, I can't really tell you because of how irregular it is. So when the whole breast milk discharge started, when I was in the university, at that moment I had to speak to a few persons and some of the nurses, and they had gave me so many wrong advices. I'm gonna do a separate video on that, where I will talk about my experiences with different healthcare professionals in this PCOS journey. And obviously it was really a wrong decision for me to speak to someone that is not a gynecologist, that doesn't really know what the woman body is all about. So I did, and then so many wrong things. So after that, I had to go back to my mom and tell her that it has started again. And so we had to go back to the hospital, and the doctor was still there mentioning that I need to take another hormonal pill. So I told my mom that we should go to see a specialist at the government hospital, because at the government hospital, you have different consultants, people who are more experienced at the government hospital. So I told my mom that we need to go to the government hospital, and then here we went to the government hospital. Mind you, I've been seeing a gynecologist before, but I wanted someone who was more experienced, who have been in consultancy for a longer period of time, to give an expert opinion on what was going on. Because since the menstrual cycle was becoming more irregular and the breast milk discharge was becoming more frequent, I can't just keep on popping hormonal pills, because hormonal pills are expensive. Nobody will tell you this, but I'm telling you, they are expensive. Okay, so I just had to. So we went to meet a gynecologist at the government hospital, and the gynecologist there had to explain to us what really was going on. And also we had to do more tests again, did an ultrasound scan, did different hormonal tests, and then I said, yeah, you have cysts on your ovaries, you also have your prolactin level is high. Although he said the other hormones are balanced, are okay, they were all normal except for the prolactin and the cyst on the ovaries. And also with, I've got facial hairs. I think you'll be seeing videos on how I remove my facial hairs as time goes on. So it said that, and it said, so you are likely to have PCOS. That was what he said. He said you are likely to have PCOS. I said, oh really? Because all I've been hearing. So I asked him, PCOS, what's that? And he said an ovarian cyst. syndrome kind of something. He didn't really explain like what it was all about, just said you're likely to have PCOS. And I said okay. So I heard the name, I had to go on and do my own personal research on what it said this is all about. So I went on Google, I went on YouTube, I was surfing the net trying to understand this condition that I was in. So at that moment, I realized that everything I've been going through all these years was all PCOS. So down from the breast milk discharge to the irregular menstruation to having mood swings and all that it has to do with PCOS. I was really shocked. So why did the doctors didn't really think about this at first? So I was really surprised why they never thought about this at first. And I know that my journey with PCOS are really like in time past made me lose some relationships as well. Made me lose a lot of relationships because some person, when I do tell some persons that I'm not pregnant or I didn't do any abortion, this is just what happened, they don't believe me. So after a while they just put automatic spirit again. So it has really like affected some relationships in time past, but thank God that here I am today. And also the pains that comes from the breast milk discharge, the nursing mothers and pregnant women will understand this better. You know, when you're breastfeeding and then you got engorged breast, the pains that comes from that alone cannot be explained. I was having this pain, and you could imagine what it was for a teenage girl to be having engorged breast, to be having pains from this. You could imagine what it was like. And also when the doctor said you might find it so difficult to get pregnant, I was downcast. I was really heartbroken because I really wanted a child. I wanted it for me. When the doctors had said you might find it very difficult to get pregnant, but years later, here I am. And the PCOS is I think that it's not something that is talked about so often. So many persons are out there and they have been keeping it to themselves because they don't know who will listen and who will not listen, who will judge and who will not judge. I've had the experience, so many persons judge, so many persons will ask you like different questions. Are you sure? 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 Like, make so many persons doubt. You start with, at a point you start doubting your own self. You start doubting yourself. Is this really what is happening to me, or is this what is really happening to me? You start doubting your own self. So if you want to find out more on how I was able to reverse most of my symptoms of PCOS, don't forget to click on that subscribe button and don't forget to hit on the notification bell for you to find out how I was able to conceive naturally with PCOS. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video.